Hi, I'm Krishna and I made all the art and crafts. Now I'll show you all the art and crafts. These are the art and craft things which I made. And this is my cupboard in which I keep all my art and craft things. So now let me show you all my art and crafts. This is a squirrel which I made. For the body I used a paper cup. For the hands, legs and the tail I used some foam sheet which is brown in color. For the googly eyes I used the googly eyes, and for the nose I used a pom-pom. And for the teeth, I used some paper. This is a donkey which I made using 2 boxes. For the teeth, I used some paper. And for the eyes of the donkey, I used a pom-pom and some googly eyes. And for the ears, I used some colored paper. This is a puppet which can talk. Hello, my name is Donkey. This is the igloo I made. And these are the trees. For the snow, I used some cotton, and for the igloo, I used a bowl and some cardboard here. And I stick tissue paper pieces on the bowl and painted these blue lines to make like ice blocks. And for the trees, I used the ice cream stick for the tree trunk. And for the leaves, I used some kitchen scatters. This is a puppet which I made, which has 2 googly eyes, and I used foam sheet for the wrist. This is a train which I made. This can be used as a pencil box. And for this I have used a tube like this, then lids for the steam, and these toys for the wheels, and a big box at the end, and a cardboard at the top. This is a kangaroo which I made using some foam sheet and googly eyes and pom-poms which are small. This can be used as pencil or sketch holders. You can keep anything inside this. And I used a can here. This is also a pencil holder which looks like a tiger. I used 2 googly eyes, pieces of yellow and orange foam sheet, a can, a pom-pom, and you can also keep many pencils inside this. This is a plant which I made. I used some leaves using foam paper, an ice cream stick for the stem, a pom-pom and foam sheet for the flower, a pot and some tissue paper This is a robot which I made. At the top I used a block, and here I used a box which is square in shape, and for the hands I used ice cream stick, and for the screen and the buttons I used some foam sheet, and at last for the legs I used small and thin boxes. This is a chick which I made. I used 2 pom-poms, and for the legs I used some foam sheet, and for the nose I used a triangular foam sheet and folded it into the beak. And I also used 2 googly eyes. This is an hedgehog which I made. I used a big pom-pom, 2 googly eyes, and for the legs I used some origami sheet, and even for the head of the hedgehog. This is a ladybug which I made by using a stone at the bottom, then a piece of foam paper which is red in color, and spots of foam paper which is dark red in color. And for the eyes I used some googly eyes, and using a felt tip pen I drew all the other things. This is a castle which I made by using a box, 2 tubes like this, and some origami sheet, some sketch pens, 2 pom-poms, and that's all. You can store anything you want inside this. These are the food items which I made. This one is a spilled drink. You can prank anybody by doing this. See, this is actually not spilled. For this I used some pink paint with some gloopy glue, and I mixed it together, and I also used a cup. And then this is a cake which I made using some sponge. I painted the top, and I used the pom-pom for the cherry. This is a bread which I made. I used some foam sheet at the end like this for the crust effect. And this is an ice cream which I made using some sponge and an ice cream stick. These are the astronauts which I made. I used a bottle like this, some googly eyes, and I drew all the things with some sketch. And I also made a space rock like this using a newspaper, and I painted some grey into this scrunched newspaper. So now you can play bowling. I got a point. This is a crocodile which I made. This is like a puppet. For the eyes, I used a big pom-pom which is white in color, and for the pupil, I used a small pom-pom which is black in color for the eyeball. And for the teeth, I used paper. And for the mouth of the crocodile, I used some building blocks, a flat piece of building block, and I folded it like this. This is a fish and this is a small man made using a ball. This sword was made by my brother Shriram. These are the origamis which I made. A cat, a tortoise, and a dog. This is a man which I made using a ball like this, and for the body I stick tape, and even for the hands, and I use some straws for the legs. This is a laptop which I made using a box. This is the keyboard and this is the screen of the laptop. And there's a secret compartment in here. You can open this box and keep anything you want inside this keyboard. This is a house which I made. This is a butterfly which I made and I painted it. I used some wooden pieces. This is a bird which I made using a hanger. I used googly eyes, and for the beak I used some wire, and even for the tail. Now I'm going to show you the drawings which I made. So this is a space picture. I used a foam sheet, and for the background I used a toothbrush. I put some white paint and sprayed this around the black paper. This is a treasure map which I made. I used some coffee powder. I put it all around the paper and drew these using some crayons, and then scrunched this paper so that this looks that it is so old. This is a pattern which I made by making holes here. This is a colorful picture which I made by drawing with sketch and putting some water. This is a room which I made. And this is the door. You can open the door and there will be a surprise inside. See, it's a ghost. This is also a pattern which I made by putting some yellow paper at the back, and I stick strips of white and black paper here. This is a flower which I made, and this is a glittery picture with some patterns here.